There had been an overnight summer storm on the island of Sodor. Telegraph poles were being blown over, and trees were falling onto the tracks, and chimneys had been blown up the houses. All the engines were working hard to clear the storm damage. James was taking bullets to get cars out of the mud. Edward was taking some steel pipes to repair the pipes. And Oliver was taking Thumper to Henry's tunnel to move a landslide. And Thomas was taking some oil and some scrap to the smelters. On his way, he met Mavis. She was helping some workmen to remove a big shed onto a flatbed. "Is that a shed?" asked Thomas. "It's not really a shed," asked Mavis. "It's an old railway coach." When the old coach was holding onto the flatbed, Mavis bubbled up. "Hello," said Thomas to the coach. "What's your name?" "My name is Victoria," said the coach. "I used to be called a vintage coach, but they thought I'm too old, so they turned me into a garden shed. So I'm taking her to the foundry to be a new coach," said Mavis. "Good luck, Victoria," said Thomas. "Thank you," said Victoria. And Thomas watched as Mavis chopped away with Victoria. Later, Thomas met Toby and Henrietta and the fat controller. He was talking to Toby, looking very serious. "A strong wind has blown down the telephone lines," he boomed. "Toby, you must take the workmen to fix the telephone lines, or it will cause confusion and delay." "Yes, sir," said Toby. When the fat controller left, Toby looked worried. "There's going to be lots of engineers to be taken around the island," said Toby. "But why are you so worried?" said Thomas. "It's the most important job." "I know," said Toby, "but Henrietta is the only coach I got." "I'll be half full," said Henrietta. "Don't worry," said Thomas. "You soon get used to it." And he puffed away. But Toby was still worried, and Henrietta as well. When Toby arrived at Mayfway, there were lots of telephone engineers. Toby looked worried than ever. But as the engineers tried to get on board Henrietta, they were started to argue. "Stop it! You're pushing me," said one. "But you're standing in the way," said another. "Oh, cried Henrietta. When they were on board, Toby puffed away. They had not gone far when the engineers started to argue each other's. "Stop it!" they cried. "You're standing on my feet!" "You're in the way!" cried the other. Toby's driver stopped. An engineer climbed out to see Toby. "Toby, there isn't enough room in Henrietta." "I'm sorry," sighed Toby. "Henrietta is the only coach I got." "Well, why don't you have another coach?" said the engineer. "That could be better." Toby thought that was a wonderful idea. Just then, Toby saw Gordon puffing down the track towards him. "Gordon," called Toby, "can I borrow one of your coach, please?" "Certainly not," huffed Gordon. "You're just a steam tram." Just then, Edward puffed up alongside him. "Edward," said Toby, "can I borrow one of your coach, please?" "No, thank you," said Edward. "I'm taking the children to school." And he puffed away. Toby felt upset. I'm sorry, Mr. Engineer, he said. I can't find a spare coach. If only Thomas was here to help me. Just then, Toby heard a whistle. It was Thomas. Hello, Toby, said Thomas. What's the matter? Thomas, called Toby. I need another coach. Henrietta hasn't got enough room for all the engineers. I told you so. Thomas was surprised. Poor Toby. If only... Then Thomas had an idea. He remembered Victoria. I'll find you a coach, Toby, said Tom. And he puffed quickly away. Thomas raced to the foundry as fast as he could. I hope Victoria's as good as new, he hoped. And when Thomas arrived at the foundry, he was absolutely right. Victoria was there with Mavis, and she was as good as new. She was painted bright blue and some new buggy wheels. Victoria, said Thomas, you look absolutely wonderful. I know, said Victoria. Victoria, said Thomas, can I use you for a minute? Thomas told Victoria about Toby, and he only had a coach called Henrietta. Of course, said Victoria. I'll be happy to help Toby. Thomas was delighted, and he backed on to Victoria, and together they set off to find Toby. Good luck, called Mavis, and Thomas and Victoria left the foundry. Toby waited as Thomas came back. Hello, Toby, said Tom. Here's this coat you wanted. When Toby looked at Victoria, he was delighted. Toby, said Thomas, this is Victoria. Victoria, this is Toby. Hello, Toby, said Victoria. Hello, Victoria, said Toby. This is my coach, Henrietta. Hello, said Henrietta. You look wonderful. And so does you. Soon some of the engineers climbed on board Victoria. At last they got more room than ever. When everything was ready, Toby set off with his important job. Good luck, called Thomas. Toby puffed across the island with Victoria and Henrietta. And soon, all the telephone poles were fixed in no time. And that evening, the railway was back to normal, and the fat controller came to see the engines. Well done, Toby. You've done a wonderful job fixing all the telephone lines, and you've been a really useful engine. Thank you, sir, said Toby, but I could have done it without Thomas and Victoria. Thomas smiled, and so was Victoria. Toby, can I stay with you? After all, me and Henrietta were good friends. Of course, said Toby. We'll be happy to be friends together. And all they should.